Hello everybody, this is the Apc Games again, and welcome back to Crossout 101. Today we're gonna cover the different kinds of wheels and what kind of builds you would use them for. Since I only use a small amount of wheels myself, I will use the guide unit, which can be found when you press your own name. And then go to guides at the top, and you can see all the types of parts with their stats, like this. Okay, the first ones are the common ones, the medium and medium steering wheels, the small wheels, and the small steering wheels. These are really easy to obtain. You can get them in PvP. You do not need to craft them, so they're really easy to obtain and just use. Very cheap parts as well. I actually want to cover the difference between normal wheels and steering wheels first. Of course, the SD wheels are the steering ones. They allow your vehicle to steer, and that's about it. However, the medium wheels, if you can see here, the tonnage 880 kilograms. Well, this one is 530. Well, the power score is the same, and the structure and mass also the same. So if you have a heavier build, you might want to trade a few steering wheels for normal wheels. So you can actually have a higher amount of mass for the same amount of wheels before you have to use some kind of extra engine, better cabin, or even more wheels, without having to like get the deceleration or max speed issues. Okay, first I will categorize wheels in small size, medium size, and large size. I'm gonna compare them right now in just other raw size. Here you got a 8x4 frame, and if I mount a small wheels on the style wheels, you can see how they can literally, if you have, you can literally extend this in an infinite way. If I take a extra 4x4 frame, I can simply mount another one right there. This one scales indefinitely. You can just make this thing as long as you want. You can just mount one at every T section right here. No problem. Medium-sized wheels are actually need one extra room. They are one longer between the spaces between the two. So these ones are not scalable indefinitely. At number 5, right here, you have a row of this, actually 4 of them, and then you need 5 of these for every 4 of these, basically, instead of 5 and 5. Large wheels are even larger, however I do not own them, so I cannot really show the size. But you do have to take into account that those are even larger. Tracks, for example, are also, they are exactly, there we go. There are actually 16 long, for example, with large tracks, and they are 8 or 10 long with the hardened, and 6 or 8 long with the small ones. So those are also pretty large. Anyway, I am going back to the guides. So basically, you have the medium-sized wheels, uncommon, and small-sized wheels. Use the small light wheels on small builds where you need a lot of wheels, and the medium wheels for pretty much everything else. The next ones are the Apc wheels. For rares, you got the, I'm gonna cover all the steering wheels just, and these ones have 470 health, so they are pretty tough for 90 power score. However, they're not the toughest ones. For example, these ones are slightly tougher, this racing wheels. They are pretty good on medium to heavyweight builds, but they're not really that amazing in my opinion. Balloon tires are pretty bad. They have very little tonnage and pretty little health. Same with the Apc wheels, they're both medium-sized wheels. So I do not advise using these. And then you should go for Apc wheels, racing wheels, or whatever. So they're much better. Chained wheels are pretty lightly weight parts. They are classified as small wheels, and they should be used on lighter builds. Same with the landing gears. They have actually very similar tonnage. Actually, the landing gear is slightly lower, as well as the health. But if you want to go for small wheels, go for the chained wheel over the landing gears, because the landing gears here is 120 kilograms of mass. This one is only 90. This one has more tonnage and more health compared to this one, so it's always better. These are the large wheels. They have a a lot of tonnage, however they are pretty well large. Their health is pretty nice, so for these ones are the go-for ones for the really heavy builds if you want to use wheels and not tracks or mechlex. These are the racing wheels. They are medium classified wheels. They are really good for the all-round build. I actually advise these if you just want to take some kind of wheel in the rare classification, use these or the twin wheels. Here we got studded wheels. Studded wheels are extremely light. However, very little tonnage here. 370, 90 structure. Compared to the chain wheels with 600 kilograms of tonnage and 135 pieces of structure. However, these ones are 90 kilograms of mass and these ones are only 60. So if you really want to stick to the super lightweight builds, you can go for studded wheels. Otherwise, I would go for chain wheels for the small size wheels. Lastly, for the wheels, we got the twin wheels. The twin wheels are very high tonnage, similar to the large wheels, but they are medium sized, although they are quite wide. If you like, take it this way. I'll pick some frames. If you look at combine the medium wheels compared to the small wheels, like this, you can see how this one is actually slightly wider than this one. The twin wheels are extremely wide. They are like two of these next to each other almost. So they do take quite a lot of space. And finally, we've got the armored tracks and the small tracks and everything. The mechlex are amazing for the extremely heavy builds because they're actually rather small, but they have extremely high amounts of health. The small tracks are pretty good for the medium builds if you want to go for tracks. And the hardened tracks are pretty good for the pretty heavy builds. And finally, the armored tracks are good for the extremely heavy builds where you want to stick to as few parts as possible. Because these things are really large and they have an extreme amount of tonnage. You can easily make a very large build with only 2 or 4 of these. So in comparison, they are much cheaper than small track, mechlex or hardened tracks. I don't say you should stick with these advice, but basically I'm gonna go over them. For small wheels, I would say chain wheels. For medium-sized wheels, I'll go for racing wheels or twin wheels. And for large wheels, I go for of course the large wheels because they're only one size. For mechlex, of course, also one size, so not much choice there. And for the tracks, I would actually go for the hardened tracks. I currently only own armored tracks, but that's mainly because I own a few packs. And they came from there, not because I actually made them. Otherwise, I would have made 4 hardened tracks instead. Anyway, that concludes this guide, and I will see you guys all later. This was the Games, and bye bye.